Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1961 of What's She Up To Now. Today we are putting our heads together to use 6 thinking hats on a financial goal or objective that we want. Our idiom, our expression for today is to put our heads together. So I actually used some little bell dolls and heads, and it was kind of weird and silly, but funny. I always like to think of a creative way, or not always, but I like to think of a creative way if I can, to start my videos. Why? Because it's fun. It makes it more fun for me. I don't know if it makes it more fun for other people, but I like to have fun in the things that I do, or I like to look for creative ways to do things. And since I hang out with my granddaughters pretty often, I have a lot of toys and things around me that are fun. As you can tell, orange bunny rabbits, minions, angels, that other stuff too, but I did try to simplify my background this year. So today, in this year's annual challenge, the Get Your Goals annual challenge, where we're doing one thing every day to get what we want, we're focusing on financial health and financial well-being this month. We are using the life framework that I've used since 2021. Prior to that, I've used it since the 1980s. I learned it in the late 1980s. It's a framework from, actually, Tony Robbins is who I first learned it from, but he of course got it from Jim Rohn, who is another person that I worked with and followed for quite some time back in the day. And that is a 7-part life framework: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution. And then following the craziness of the pandemic, I was looking for something to give me a more solid foundation personally, and I worked with a coaching group that focused on core skills and core values, on communication and confidence. If we have confidence in different areas and aspects of our life and in ourselves, knowing that we're going to always figure it out no matter what happens, then we will make different choices and decisions and do different things and get out of our comfort zone in all the other areas and aspects of our life. And the same is true of communication. The better we are at communicating, the better we are at paying attention to our people understanding what we're trying to share or not, or what impact is it having on them. Those to me are as core foundational and important of concepts and skills as all of these others. We have to pay attention to our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, our health in all of those areas, and our well-being in all of those areas, whatever term feels better to you. I use them pretty interchangeably because to me, my mental health and well-being, my physical health and well-being, they're very similar. Well-being to me encompasses more than just what actually is the objective things that we can touch and feel, the data and things. It adds in those elements that are harder to quantify. So our topic today was the O of the SOAP framework. Let me knock off my ducks. And the O is options. What options do we have to fill the gap between where we are and where we want to be? The S in the SOAP framework is all about our story or situation. And we tell ourselves, okay, what's going on right now with this area of my financial life? And then what do I want it to be? And that's how we set a goal for that area. And then we use the O, the A, and the P to fill that gap. So today we use the 6 thinking hat technique, which is one I've used a little bit, but not a lot, so I like it. It reminds us to put on different hats and look at the problem from different possible perspectives. White hat, focus on the facts and the data. Red hat, focus on the emotions and intuition. Black hat, focus on critical and cautious thinking. Yellow hat, positive and optimistic thinking. Green hat, creative and intuitive thinking. And the blue hat is about processes and organization and how we're going to make all of it happen or work together. So it, just like every other area and aspect of our life, it encourages us to see a situation or a problem or a challenge from different points of view, different perspectives. Because sometimes all you need is a 10,000-foot view instead of being down-mired in the details of a situation in order for the solution to pop into your head and you're like, oh my God, that is such a smarter way of looking at this. Why didn't I think of that before? Have you ever had that happen? I sure have. So that's what I'm working on today with respect to content. Working on another project, writing project, which is always fun for me personally. It allows me to be creative and have fun with it. If I can help you in any way, please ask. One of the biggest challenges I've had in my life is asking for help. I figured from the time I was a little girl, I should be able to just figure things out myself, which is really, really silly. And it makes things in life a lot more complicated and take a lot longer than they have to than if I would just ask for help. So I encourage you, if you need to ask somebody or just have an idea you want to bounce off somebody, just hit me up. You can direct message me if you happen to be seeing me on Facebook. Otherwise, you can just Google me because I'm everywhere and ask your question. My favorite way to answer questions, by the way, is a tool called Voxer. It's a walkie-talkie tool. And since I have visual challenges, it's faster and easier than texts or other types of messages. All right, have an absolutely amazing day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.